Madhyoli Charanam, Jai Nandalala. We'll continue with the Sundaramurthy session. We stopped last time when he received the gold bricks at the temple, Agnishwarar temple in Thiruvarur, and he wanted gold for Paravai, right? His wife. She wants to do charity, and she always did charity during the Pangani Uttaram um, Masam. And that time he wanted gold, and and the Lord was kind enough to give him the bricks that he kept as pillow. Those bricks in the morning turned to gold. That is where we ended. And of course, Paravai um, did her charity work as desired, and that went on successfully. See, when we have seen Sundaramurthy Nayanar's story, he has asked the Lord for something. Whenever he has asked, he's always asking, right? From the beginning, we have seen, give me this, give me that. Yeah, can I marry this person? It's always asking. But when we look deeper into the reasons, right? He's asking for the community. So when the famine hit and the grains were given, right? The Lord came and dumped all the grains, heaps of grains in um, the person's house, right? The person who used to um, distribute the grains to everybody in Thiruvarur. Why did he ask for the grains? It's not just, it's not for himself at all. That man who distributed the food to everyone, the grains to everyone, came and told Sundaramurthy Nayanar the situation, the famine situation, and there is no grains. Everybody is going to starve. That's when Sundaramurthy Nayanar went to the Lord and sang a padhigam and requested for the grains. This consistent asking of Sundaramurthy is not for himself. We've seen that over and over, this whole story, it's for everybody. It's for everyone. Even the Pangani Uttaram for charity. It's for, again, to give away. The Lord just gave gold bricks. He asked for gold, but the Lord was generous. இன்னொருத்தருக்கு பண்ணும்போது, the Lord is very generous. The Lord is always kind. Everybody asks for themselves. எனக்கு ஒரு வீடு வேணும். எனக்கு ஒரு வேலை வேணும். I want a house. I want a job. I want a promotion. How many of us really think about another person? I'm not saying think and cry about somebody. Okay? No. You crying and you being sad for someone is not going to help them in any way. You have to sit and pray, just like he did. What did he do? He didn't sit and cry for anyone. He went to the Lord and sang a padhigam. Now, those padhigams we have as jewels and gems. We sing it today. It's all praising the Lord. Those padhigams are not even asking anything. If you go into the deeper meaning of these padhigams, they're all asking for our cleansing and praising that beautiful, magnanimous Lord, glorifying Him. So it brings tears to our eyes when we actually see the padhigam, the meaning of the padhigam. The first padhigam that I sang, Itta Pirai Sudi, what is that about? only praising him. And in the end, it's telling that he's a slave. I am your slave. I'm happily your slave. So yeah, over and over again, this Nayanar is very different. He keeps asking the Lord for something or the other. And this is why I've said that I love this relationship he shares with the Lord. It's a very unique, beautiful relationship, friend. And over time, you will see that that bond is so beautiful. Now, Sundara could do the charity. Paravai is happy. Next, he goes to Vriddachalam. Vriddachalam is a beautiful sthalam. I've visited that place. It's just beauty. Now he sang a padhigam over there. Why did he sing a padhigam over there? His father wanted to do a homam. Again, this homam is not for their benefit. Lot of people do homam for the house, which is okay, which is good. But we're talking about a different category of people here. Okay. These set of people are doing homam for the community. So his father wanted to do a big homam for the community as a whole. Now, when we talk about homam, homam is, it's a very auspicious event which should never be missed, especially when you know the source, who is doing it. The source is genuine and you know them. Make it a point to attend it. Because being in a homam is not an everyday affair, right? How many people actually take up and do a homam for the community? Do you know the benefits of a homam? That the fumes that are created there after all the Vedas are chanted and the sacrifices, that is, we are feeding that fire, that Agni, that Lord. We are calling upon the Devi or whoever that Omam is for. And she's there. She's fully, in her full form, she's there to receive whatever you give her. Because when you invoke her, she's there. Even for a small Gayatri mantram that you say when you do your Sandhya Vandanam, that goddess Gayatri is there. She comes. That is her duty for you. She comes. So this homam is more than that. Because here you are telling her by doing this homam that everything around us is an illusion. A lot of people say, why are they throwing everything in that fire and wasting so many things? It's like so much ghee, so much honey, so many flowers, so many for Chandi Homam and all. They feed the fire because Chandi is there, right? She's hungry. They feed her so many food, so much food, so many saris, 9 yards, not 6 yards, 9 yards. They put 108, 1008. Depends on the scale of the Chandi Homam and how much they can afford. Because Chandi is receiving, she is there to receive how much ever you give. But the kindness of her is, even if you give 108, she'll take it. Even if you give 1008, she'll take it. The beauty is where everything goes in the fire. They say, right? Only God knows. It's all consumed. So this is the part of the homam. The homam is not a small, ordinary thing. Don't take it lightly. When you see the priest and the people doing all that, offerings, it just keep that in mind. It's just telling that nothing belongs to me. Everything is yours. That is the concept. Everything is yours, nothing is mine. Here, take it. Swaha, swaha. That is what is it. The truth is that. And it's unbelievable. After the homam, it's just ashes remaining there. So much is fed. So, yeah, why I spoke about the homam now is because we're going to have a homam on June 11th. So, whoever is nearby, whoever can make a trip here, if you can, if you can, if Ambal willing, you will be here because it's good for you. It is very good for you. And you will feel her presence and the Pralayar's presence on top of that in addition. So you should never miss it. Now back to the homam that Sundaramurthy's father wanted to do. Now he wanted to do a homam for the community. And he did not have money. Again, see, the homam is not easy, right? So many things we have to buy and prepare. You have to feed the Lord, the fire god, Agni, whoever, whichever Lord you're invoking. He has to be pleased. So the homam needs all that for the rituals, but they don't have the money. So Sundaramurthy Nayanar tells his father, don't worry, I'm going to Vriddachalam. I'll ask the Lord there. Didn't we know that was coming? Hmm? So he goes to Vriddachalam and he sings a beautiful padhigam. And he says, Swami, I need gold coins. I need gold coins to do homam. My father wants to do. The Lord says, sure. He doesn't say how much he wants, but the Lord gives him 12,000 gold coins right there in front of him. Those days, you don't have a transportation to take you from one place to another. You just carry one small bag and walk. Your feet is your mode of transport. So Sundaramurthy Nayanar looks at those gold coins and says, how am I supposed to take this to Thiruvarur? Can you please um, make sure that it is in Thiruvarur? He says, look at this. The Lord has given him gold coin. And we saw this always, right? With the grains also. He asked for the grains. The Lord put a heap of grains in that place. Can even imagine distributing it. So he asked the Lord for help. Can you please distribute it? The Lord did it. Same thing happened here. The gold coins are too many. One gold coin is so much weight. So he says, how can I take this with me, Swami? So the Lord tells him, you put it here in this pond, Tirtham in Vriddachalam, and receive it there in Thiruvarur. So money transfer. You deposit it here and you take it from there. This is the money transfer that the Lord did even before we even came to know about this. So he told Sundaramurthy, put it here in the Tirtham, just dump it there in the Tirtham, he said, and receive it in Thiruvarur, he said. The Lord. So Sundaramurthy Nayanar took all the coins and he dumps it in the Tirtham here in Vriddachalam. And he goes to Thiruvarur and he tells Paravai, the Lord has said that the coins will be here in the Tirtham here in Thiruvarur. Let's go and get it. So they both go. They both go to the Tirtham and he jumps into the Tirtham and he's looking for the coins. The coins are not there. What he does is he keeps one, Adayalam, for identification in Vriddachalam. He says, I'll keep one and I'll dump the rest in the Tirtham. So that's done, right? Now he's back in Thiruvarur and he jumps into the Tirtham and he's finding the coin. He has one for identification with him. And he sings a padhigam. Because he couldn't find the coins, he comes back and he sings a padhigam for the Lord. This is how he attracts him. Not that the Lord is not watching him. He wants Sundarar to sing a padhigam. As soon as he sang the padhigam, he could see the gold coins. So he goes there and he picks it up and he brings it and then he takes the identification coin, Adayalam coin, and he sees both and he sees a difference. It seems like the quality is a little less, the ones that he found in Thiruvarur. The God is playing with him. The Lord's Leelas, Thiruvilayadal. I've always told you, Lord Shiva is very cute. Krishnare totutarnu cholva. When you read about Lord Shiva, Krishna is nothing. We all grew up listening to Lord Krishna's stories and we feel he's so funny, so cute, he's so mischievous. But look at this. I think equally both are mischievous, right? Both are mischievous. So he keeps that coin little, quality is little less, lower than what he has in his hand. So he prays to the Lord and he sings another padigam. Immediately the coins are back to their original form. Della Malayat. All these are the games he plays with his dear ones. So yeah, the homam gets done. Thanks to the Lord, he provided them. In Sundaramurthy Nayanar's case, right? Everything was provided by the Lord. Everything was provided. And he could do whatever he wanted for everyone. And that is why he sent him there. Right? The desire was put in his mind so that he could be sent on earth to do for his devotees. So Sundaramurthy Nayanar was sent here to serve the Lord's devotees. And exactly what he did. So this Thiruvarur is a very, very auspicious place. If I start talking about Thiruvarur, there is no end to this place, That's how major this place is. It's not an ordinary place. This is where he found the coins. Think about it, money transfer. The coins that he put in Vriddachalam appeared in Thiruvarur Tirtham. And it's not a made-up story. I keep telling you this. Nothing of this is made up. This has happened. Yeah, so Thiruvarur Swami is called Tyagaraja Swami, and the Ambal is called Kamalambigai. And the Sthala Vriksham is Pattiri, and the Tirtham is Kamalalayam. And it's a very, very old temple, 2000 years old. It's in Tamil Nadu, and it was built in the 6th century, the temple. The Swayambhu Lingam was already there. Now, great Shaivite saints, it's a Padal Sthalam. That means what? All these Nayanars, the great Shaivite saints, Sundaramurthy, Appar, manikavasagar, all of them have come. Thirugnana Sambandar. All of them have come and sang padhigams for the Lord here. Thevarams for the Lord here. That's why it's called Padal Sthalam. And of course, the trinity of music, Muthuswami Dikshitar, Shastri, and Tyagaraja. They were all associated with this place, Thiruvarur. Of course, the Lord is a Swayambhu Murti. He is praised as the Raja, King of gods. That is why Tyagaraja. This temple has the maximum number of shrines, the whole of India. Maximum number of shrines. That is sanctum. The number of the gods and deities in this temple are the maximum. The temple has 7 gopurams, 80 vimanams, 12 tall walls, 13 mandapams, 3 flower gardens, 15 tirthams, 7 prakarams, and 365 shivalingams, representing all the 365 days in a year. There are more than hundreds of shrines in this temple, and 84 Vinayaka idols are there in this temple. And the temple, you can imagine all of this is in this complex, in this compound, inside this compound. How much would it be? Huh? How big would this be? 35 acres. It's a huge temple. The walls are so huge, it looks like a castle. Of course, it's Tyagaraja, right? We already spoke about it. The king of the gods. And the whole temple is built of stone. Now here the idol of Tyagaraja, no, they don't do abhishekam for the idol, but it's performed to the Maragatha Lingam. And this Lingam, I believe, was worshipped by Lord Vishnu first, initially. We'll come to that later. Now, after Abhishekam, this lingam is placed inside a silver box and put flowers in, closed and put inside, locked and kept safely in the same sanctum near the Tyagaraja idol, in the same Sannidhi. Now here, there is a Nadukka Tirtha Vinayagar. That is, he's worshipped to get rid of nervousness. Anybody who has a lot of people have these nervous problems. This is the Vinayagar to worship. And there is a lot of Vinayagars, like we said, right? 80 something Vinayagars in this temple. 84 to be specific. So there's another Vinayagar for people who do yoga. So this Vinayagar is worshipped and he's called the Mooladhara Ganapati, and he appears reclining and dancing on a lotus, fully bloomed lotus. The part I love. Ambal here, Kamalambal. She is something. She is seen sitting stylishly. The posture is so stylish. She's sitting down with her legs crossed, putting one leg over the other like a Maharani. This is very rare. But this is the Utsavam, the Moolavar, that is the main idol, not the Utsavamurti. Utsavamurti, lot of times, even Thiruvannaikkaval, the Ambal is seated in that posture, if you've seen it. It's very popular in Thiruvannaikkaval. Our Ambal Akhilandeshwari is the style queen. But here, the main sanctum, the idol, the stone idol is like that. He's sitting like that for the whole time. That stylish posture with one leg over the other. And well, if the Lord is Tyagaraja, the Ambal is Maharani. And she's seen wearing the crescent moon. And she here represents Goddess Saraswati, Lakshmi, and Parvati all together. And she holds a flower in her right hand, and her left hand is on her hip. On her hip. Yeah, on her hip. Yeah, no other models in this world can even come near this Ambal. So the Tyagaraja image was first prayed to by Lord Vishnu. You must wonder why Lord Vishnu came to pray to that form of Tyagaraja, this Swami here, Lord Shiva here. So Lord Vishnu wanted a son. Yes, he wanted a son. So he prayed to Lord Shiva here. You may ask, who is his son? His son is Manmadan. Yes, Kamadeva, the Lord of love, desire, passion, all the dangerous things that when it gets too much, consumes us totally. Everything needs to be put in a limit. That was his son. Lord Kamadeva was his son. And yes, the boon was granted, the wish was granted, and that's why we see Kamadeva. Now, according to the Puranas, Lord Vishnu was the one who created this image in his mind of this Lord, this Shiva, Lord Shiva here. And the Lord Shiva here is called Somaskandar because he came and gave darshan to Lord Vishnu. Not alone, but with Uma Devi and Kanda, Murugan, in between them. So 3 of them came. That's why he's called the Somaskandar. Now that being said, we'll go to the story of how these lingams came to be. Now there was a Raja named Muchukunda Chakravarti. He's a Shora king. And Lord Indra was threatened by an Asura named Valasuran. So he went and asked this king. Lord Indra went and approached and asked Muchukunda Chakravarti to help him destroy this Asura. Of course, the Shora king said, I will help you. So he helped him and they won the war. So Indra was very happy. Lord Indra was very happy with this king, and he said, you ask me anything you want. Now, remember I told you Lord Vishnu prayed to this lingam, this form, and he got his desires. That is his son. He wanted the boon. He got the boon and he received the boon from Lord Shiva. Now that lingam, he gave it to Lord Indra because he wanted Lord Indra to also get his wishes fulfilled. What was his wish? To kill this Asura. Lord Indra is in so much stress. Always he's very stressed out. For small things, he gets stressed out. So when Lord Vishnu saw him like that, he said, my prayers were answered by this very, very kind, merciful Lord Shiva in this form. So you take it and you pray to him. You will get your wishes fulfilled. So he gave that lingam to Lord Indra. So that is who he was doing puja to every day. So King Muchukunda Chakravarti saw this beautiful image, the lingam. He had an eye on it. Now, when Lord Indra won the war and everything was over, Lord Indra was so happy with the Shora king. He said, what do you want? You ask me anything, I'll give you. What do you expect him to ask? He said, can I have that lingam? Lord Indra didn't want to part with it. He just did not want to part with it. So he said, yeah, sure, I'll give it to you tomorrow. You come tomorrow, I'll give it to you. Meanwhile, he got 6 other lingams done just like that, similar. Done, and then he kept it all together. Only Lord Indra knew which was the original one given to him by Lord Vishnu. So he said, O king, you can select whichever you want now. But Mochikunda Chakravarti was such a good devotee of Lord Shiva. Nobody could trick him. He found the original lingam effortlessly. He said that one, and that was the original. Now Lord Indra was like, what is the point in giving him the original and keeping all the rest? He said, you know what, take all of them. So he got all the 7 lingams. So Lord Indra was very impressed. He said, you found the right one. You found the original. So now even the king knew which was the original. So he came with the original and he installed it in Thiruvarur. So he kept it in Thiruvarur. So that is how that came to Thiruvarur. And we see that Maragatha Lingam, the emerald lingam there. It's so beautiful, right? Like when you see the history of how things came to be, it's incredible. Now that is why now these 7 lingams are in 7 places. So this king, Shora king, went and placed them in 7 other places. Now, what makes this very unique is all these 7 places, they have a unique dance when they bring out the Utsava Murtis. Now, we'll start from Thiruvarur, that we are there now, right? We'll start from Thiruvarur. The Lord here is called the Veedi Vidangar. Now, the Nadanam here is called the Ajaba Nadanam. I believe when Lord Vishnu prayed to Somaskanda, he imagined him and he imagined him in his heart, Hridayam. And he was, you know how Lord Vishnu always lies down in his Adisesha, right? So when he imagined him, always he's imagining about Lord Shiva. Just so you know, Lord Vishnu, when he is in his beautiful sleep that you think, Yoga Nidra, right? He's always meditating on Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva emerges in his heart because he has him in his heart. So he emerges there and he does the Ajaba Nadanam. That is what is in Thiruvarur. He is in that form, dancing on the chest of Lord Vishnu. So this Nadanam is so beautiful. You can just close your eyes and pay attention to what I'm trying to say. Think about Lord Vishnu and Lord Nataraja on his chest, small form. He makes himself small so that not to wake up, not to disturb the Lord in his sleep, Yoga Nidra. And he is dancing on his chest. Hmm? And when he's breathing, the movement goes up and down, up and down. So the Lord is like dancing in that same pace. It's so beautiful. Even the thought about it, not to wake up the Lord, but still dancing with that wave. That is the Ajaba Nadanam that happens in this temple. So when the Lord is brought out, the Utsava Murti is brought out, the Nataraja is brought out in Thiruvarur, they do the Ajaba Nadanam. Who does? The people who are bringing the Lord out. They do the dance like the waves. The inhalation and exhalation of the breath of Lord Vishnu. Isn't it beautiful? I loved it. Ah, it's the so these 7 places that the emerald lingams are kept are called the Saptha Vidanga Sthalams. Okay, so one of them is Thiruvarur. Let's see what are the rest. I just want to give you an idea. Thirukuvalai is the next one. So, like I said, in these places, the Lord is brought out in a very special, unique style of dance. So, in Thiruvarur, we saw the movements, right? And I explained why. Thirukuvalai, the movements are of a bee, Vand, Brahma Nadanam. Okay? I won't go into details about it because we don't have time. But yes, I will talk about these temples in detail later. The third one is Nagapattinam, Sundara Vidangar. He's very beautiful. I believe the lingam is red in color here. So that's why the name Sundara Vidangar. And Paravara Nadanam. Now here the Lord, the face, the only thing that's visible is the face. Throughout the year, you will never see any part of the body, like the legs, forget it. So that is only visible. The leg is only visible during the Margari, Thiruvadirai festivals, Vaikashi and all that. Only certain periods it's visible. And he's dressed in a way that his right hand and feet come out. And it seems like he's waving his hand and the feet is moving. So now here the movements are like the waves in the sea. Now, how are the waves in the sea? Sometimes it's very nice and calm and beautiful. Sometimes it's like, right? So you'll see that difference. It's like fast moving or it's beautiful and calm. The rough sea and the calm sea. So it's the waves of the sea is depicted in this Nadana. Now the fourth place is Tirukaravasal. It's called the Adi Vidangar is the Lord here. And the dance here is Kukuda Nadanam. It's like the rooster. Now the fifth one is Thiruvaimur, and Kamala Nadanam resembles a gradual opening of the lotus. Wow. So it's like closing and opening of the lotus flower. So when they're dancing, obviously they go up and down. This is all with the Utsava Murti. Think about it. All right. It's that they just don't take him out on a procession straight. They dance and they move. It's beautiful. Now the sixth one is Vedaranyam. Bhuvani Vidangar is the Lord. And the Nadanam here is Hamsa Pada Nadanam. Hamsa is swan, right? So the movements of a swan is depicted in this dance. Now the seventh place where the Lingam was kept is Thirunallar. You all know this place. Unmada Nadanam. And the Lord here is Naga Vidangar. Now here, Unmada Nadanam means what? Unmada Nadanam is an intoxicated state. Remember, we spoke about this intoxicated state, the madness, the bliss, not by drinking anything external or consuming anything external. It's from here. So the intoxication is something that comes from within. So it's like, for instance, forgetting oneself, right? Forgetting oneself and being one with the Lord. That's the intoxication. That is the bliss state. And that is the dance that is depicted here in Thirunallar, the God consciousness. So we spoke about all the 7 places, the Nadanam and the Lord here in all the 7 places. Now, like I said, it's a unique dance when they carry the deity out for the Urvalam, right? So they carry him in a palanquin, and that is the dance they do in each of these places. And each of these places have the emerald lingam. It is beautiful. I mean, even the thought about it is like, wow, right? Who would have thought? Something. Now, Lord Tyagaraja also means Tyagam. What is that? Sacrifice, right? What did he sacrifice? Not one, not two, so many things. But one thing that really comes to our mind, the biggest of all, is consuming that poison during the churning of the ocean. The only Lord that could have saved all of us, the universe. Lord Shiva consuming the poison. He consumed the poison and he gave us a lot of wonderful things, right? The first thing, the poison came out. Lord Shiva consumed it. After that, we got Goddess Mahalakshmi, Airavata, Uchchaishravas, Chintamani, and the last, so many other things, of course, and the last was the Amritam, nectar. Always the nectar is last. The churning, so much of churning, the kadayardu, even in our lives we've seen, we go through so much problems, right? Huh? That is the poison. It's like churning, churning, churning. Churn out all the things, and that's when you get the bliss, the intoxication, the bliss is all in the end when you have churned and thrown out everything, all the rest. What remains is bliss, the nectar. So the Lord gave us all this by consuming the poison. So in appreciation for this big sacrifice, all the devas till today, they say they are in Thiruvarur, seeking his blessings and thanking him, offering their gratitude to the Lord. So this place, they say even the devas, devargal come to offer their prayers. Now there are something very unique in this temple is there are 9 planets, right? We always see them in a square. We go and do pradakshina, right? But in this temple, all the 9 planets are in a straight line. The Navagrahas are all in the straight line, which is very unique. Why are they in the straight line? Because the demon apparently was terrorizing the 9 planets at one point, and they came here to seek the Lord's blessings. And they seek his refuge, protection, and the Lord gave them protection. But his condition was, you all stay here in a straight line and you will not trouble my devotees. So the Lord took a word from them that if they come here, you should not trouble them. So they said, okay. Those of you who believe in all these astrology and horoscope, here you go. Now, the Lord just didn't say that. He has put Lord Ganesha right in front of them, making sure that they keep their word. And Lord Ganesha makes sure that they keep their word. He's sitting there and watching them. You cannot escape Lord Ganesha. They better be careful, right? I really enjoyed Thiruvarur. Thiruvarur is a big subject. The whole session went for Thiruvarur, right? That is the beauty of this temple. Now back to Sundaramurthy Nayanar. Now he continues his journey from Vriddachalam, then Thiruvarur, and then he conducts the homam, and then he's continuing his journey. He's not in one place. He's traveling. It's the whole time it's a pilgrimage for him. Now wherever he goes, one time he was very hungry and very thirsty. You know, he always goes in a group, a lot of travelers with him. All of them Shaivite, visiting all the Shiva temples. So they were hungry and thirsty, and the Lord immediately comes there, disguised as a Brahmin, and he puts up a shed and he keeps a water fountain, a tap for the drinking water, and he offers them food. Apparently, the quantity remained the same. How much ever these people ate, the quantity remained the same. It's not getting over. It's like a magic pot, you know, it's never getting over. And then they wanted to thank this old man, and they looked up and they looking around and searching for this old man who was there, greeting them, and telling them, here's the water, here's the food, and all that. He's nowhere to be found now. That's when Sundaramurthy realized that was none other than the Lord. When he sang a padhigam with tears in his eyes. So we see over and over again how the Lord comes down for this particular Nayanar and serves him, literally serves him, right? The same thing happens in Thirukachur. He went to visit Thirukachur, that is another Lord Shiva temple, and they were all resting outside, no food. They're all there in the temple hall. A Brahmin again appears, and the old man with Rudraksham and all that. He comes to Sundara and says, "Are you hungry, my boy? How sweet." Hmm? And Sundara says, "Yes, I'm hungry, but these people are also hungry." See, he doesn't talk about him. He says, "These people are also hungry." So the Lord goes out as if he's asking for alms. He literally goes to every house in that place, asks for alms. A Brahmana, that is their duty. The duty of a Brahmana is to sit and chant the Lord's names, do ritualistic practices, chant Vedas for the community, and the community will provide for them. So he goes out and asks for alms to every house, and they all give him food. And it's a feast. He arranges a feast for Sundaramurthy and his people. That is why in this temple, Thirukachur, the Lord is also called Virinditta Ishwaran. So the the Lord who fed a feast is his name. And of course, when they wanted to thank him, after the feast, everything was done. They ate fulfilled. They wanted to thank this Brahmin. They're looking around everywhere. He's nowhere to be found. The Lord comes down to serve this particular Nayanar every time. It goes back to that thing that we talked about, where this Lord, who could not be found by Lord Vishnu and Lord Brahma when he came as the light, Jyoti, in Thiruvennainallur when we were doing that session. They couldn't find the ends. The Lord without any measurements. That great, magnanimous, powerful Lord comes down to this level, to our level, to serve his devotee. Overwhelming, isn't it? Hmm? The thought itself is so beautiful. Thank you. Madhyoli Charanam, Jai Nandalala.